Peace to the family. I know it's been a minute. All right. I've been on the grind. All right. So I haven't had a video, a vlog in a minute. Something very important has been brought to my attention in terms of people's day-to-day health. People's day-to-day health on the fruit fast. So what I would like to talk about is red blood cells, white blood cells, really quick, lightheadedness, high blood pressure, leukemia scares, cancer scares, AIDS scares, and why they're all relevant. So we'll start at the top, all right? And my brother Rob, actually from DC, he gave me a book. In the book, it's by a white lady, and it's not incredibly deep. It's actually kind of basic, but what I found in the book is that sometimes we forget some of the basics, and I try to make everything cumulative so that I'm not repeating myself. But sometimes I see that we have to go back. And so one of the things that I want to talk about is the kidney's job in terms of getting rid of salt. A lot of people are experiencing extreme lightheadedness to the point of nausea and sickness and going to the hospital to get checked out because the fruit fast is causing the blood volume to shrink. And anytime your blood volume shrinks, you're gonna have I'm recording. What's going on? Yeah, you can come through. It's all gravy. This part of Black and Nobel family, June. But so what happens is this. Let's say, for instance, and I'll give you the example the same way I was explaining it to Jason. Say, for instance, just example. Your kidney gets rid of 10 grams of salt out of your circulation per day. All right, so the kidney is set. You're eating your cooked food or whatever you're eating, and it's kind of similar day to day. It doesn't really vary too much. So the kidney's kind of set that there's going to be about 10 grams of salt that we're going to have to pull out of this the bloodstream, so that it maintains the correct level of thickness. Tries to keep the viscosity down, maintains osmotic pressure, so that nutrients can get in and out and all that kind of stuff. Now, you change your diet, boom, to a healthier diet, be it, you're going vegetarian, vegan, or you're on the fruit fast. What happens is the amount of salt you intake shrinks drastically. Now, your kidney is still getting rid of 10 grams of salt. So the first thing that's going to happen is that your blood volume is going to shrink because you're not putting in all that salt. So now the kidney is actually getting rid of salt / sodium that you actually need for your health. So you start to feel crazy, which is cool. We have to be able to moderate some of these things, and this is why leading into the fast we have Fruit Fast Radio, and we're gonna bring Fruit Fast Radio back. It's just it's just really tough for me to be everywhere at once. The last 4 days I've been back and forth from Philly to New York maybe 4 times, and in between smaller stops in Jersey and some other places. So it's been rough, and I have the ministress with me. But you can fix that really briefly with some celery. Make you a nice smoothie, or juice you some celery, I should say. I was gonna say make you a smoothie, juice you some celery, and add the celery juice into the smoothie, and put a little sea vegetables in the mix. and you're in business. Okay. All right. Yeah. So celery, some sea veggies. That's gonna get you. It's celery though. A lot of people talk reckless about celery, but celery is all right in this scenario. In this scenario. All right. Now, white blood cell count. First of all, I only spent a year and a half on white blood cells. I only spent 18 months. I only wrote, X number of books on this. I only spent, All right. So here's the situation. White blood cells are created through digestive leukocytosis. Okay. So if you are not eating the starches, the sugars, the garbage, the meat, okay, your white blood cell count will drop. Okay, your white blood cell count will drop. So there have been plenty of people over the years. You guys have to do your own research on this. All right, so that you can validate what it is that I'm saying to you. There have been plenty of people over the years that have been falsely diagnosed with cancer, HIV, the list goes on, because they have a low white blood cell count based on what they're eating. But you have to understand that the health standard is A, based on a European body. B, it's based on a European who eats 3 cooked meals a day, including large sums of meat, large sums of dairy, right? With desserts in between. So now, if that is the standard, and when they take your what is that, the blood differential, or whatever they call it in your given, in your locale, when they take your differentials or check your ratios, your white blood cell count is going to be low, and that's okay. Okay? Even by the traditional, the traditional method, where white blood cells are the good guys in the immune system and they come to help and fight off infection, right? What happens if there's no infection? What happens if there's no bacteria? What happens if there's no virus? What happens if you're loaded with fruits and greens and your body's a growing machine? At that point, where are your white blood cells? What are they doing? They're in there probably going through apoptosis, because you're loading them up with kale and greens and iron and things that, and the oxygen, the cellular environment is becoming so highly oxygenated and things like that. It's not conducive. That environment is not conducive to the proliferation of white blood cells. They have nothing to feed on, feed off, unless you got some old scar tissue and some other stuff going on in there. But these are things that you're gonna have to. You have to do your research. Okay, I'm not a doctor. I'm a minister. All right. The advice I'm giving you is not to heal, cure, / blah 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 in accordance with the FDA. But this is science. This is real. So you have to expect these things, and I don't want to say be ready to stay the course, but just keep these things in mind as you're making your decisions, and don't get scared. All right, don't get scared. Knowledge should prevent fear. All right, even if you decide that you want to go back to cooked food, that you want to go back to meat, whatever the case may be, just don't be scared, because you should know what's happening to you. So I don't want anybody to we've already had a couple of people call me scared. All right. So if you're scared, your white blood cell count drops low, and the doctors are really scaring you up, it's like this Minister EnQi YouTube guy is crazy. I can give you a quick fix right now. You want to get your white blood cell count back up? All you have to do is eat you a nice plate of cooked food with a little fish or some little chicken on it, and I promise you, that cooked sludge with that dead animal will put that white blood cell count right on back up through the roof. where you want it to be. All right. So if the change in blood pressure or the nauseousness, you know, drives you crazy, understand that we're dealing with the kidney needing time to adjust to the new salt intakes and re-regulate the various pressures, because it's not just one pressure. All right. Again, doctors only measure the pressure of the cells trying to push toxins out. They don't pay any attention to the osmotic pressure, which is the pressure that the blood plasma exerts on the cells to put nutrients and minerals and things like that in. So hopefully this vlog, I know I haven't done a vlog in a while, but I hope this vlog is good and helps some people move forward on the food fast. Peace, and yes, I am in black and no belt.